Yara's betrayal creates friction between her. Loren Collins stood in the kitchen of their shared apartment in Miami, early morning light slicing through the blinds, painting the linoleum floor in pale gold stripes. He held a coffee mug that was now cold, traces of bitterness still lingering on his tongue. Across from him, Yara Santana sat at the worn dining table, scrolling furiously through her phone, jaw tight, lips pressed into a thin line. Their relationship, once vibrant, hopeful, built on promises of starting fresh in America, now flickered like a sputtering flame, fed not by trust, but by suspicion. The betrayal that had broken the fragile peace between them wasn't huge in some people's eyes, but in the delicate ecosystem of their love, it was poison. Loren had learned, by stumbling over shared contacts on Yara's social media account, that she had been messaging someone whose name he recognized, Diego, a man from her past. Not just a casual acquaintance, but someone she once confided in during her darkest times in Colombia. Someone she claimed to have left behind. He'd asked her about him. Yara had laughed it off, deflected, said, "Diego just checks up sometimes. He used to be a friend." But then more messages appeared, messages that weren't casual, that weren't innocent. Late-night texts, intimate confessions, words that sounded more vulnerable than one just checking in should ever be. Loren tried to believe in Yara's explanations, tried to close his eyes and imagine them true, but doubts had begun seed themselves in his mind, growing roots. Now, in the kitchen's awkward half-light, they were not speaking. Instead, each dwelled in their own hurt. Loren sipped cold coffee, bracing himself for what he felt he deserved, truth. Yara knew the conversation was coming, and she had no defense polished enough. It began 2 nights before. Loren had come home from work, exhausted, hands trembling just a little with the day's tension. He saw Yara on the couch, phone in hand. He'd asked her about her day, about anything to pull her into something ordinary. She said fine, tired. Then he caught her face, the quick flush as he peeked at the screen. She fumbled, locked the phone. Loren watched her, the way she's eyes darted away, and in that moment, he felt his heart drop. "You've been texting Diego," he said quietly, trying not to accuse but needing to know. She froze. "It's nothing," she stammered. "Nothing," he repeated, louder but still controlled. "Why do I see you hiding your phone?" Yara's eyes glistened. She paused, then closed them. "I don't know how to explain," he pressed on, "because whatever it is, it hurts me." She shifted, her voice small. "He's a friend. He just checks in, and I didn't think it mattered." "It matters," Loren said. "It matters because you didn't tell me." Silence fell between them, heavy and thick. Back to the kitchen scene, Loren set his mug down, trying to steady his voice. "Trust isn't about hiding your phone," he said. "It's about choosing me, being open. If you care about me, about us, you need to let go of secrets." Yara looked up, clutching her own coffee. Though little dripped from the cup, her voice was tight, laced with regret and shame. I know I messed up." He leaned forward. "Why didn't you just tell me? Why keep it secret?" She closed her eyes, took a breath. "Because I was afraid what you'd think, what you'd feel. Diego, he was part of a time in my life I thought was long gone. I didn't want it to hurt you. I thought I could handle it alone." "Alone," Loren whispered. "That's the thing. Relationships aren't supposed to be alone. Not this one." Yara's fingers trembled over the mug. "I thought maybe if I let him go, but still have someone who cares about how I'm doing, who remembers me, I'd feel less lonely." Loren felt the weight of that confession. Less lonely. They were in America, miles from old friends, far from family, carrying hopes, debts, dreams. Each had sacrificed something. Yara's vulnerability rooted in isolation wasn't new, but the way it manifested, through secrecy, was more than Loren was prepared for. Over the next day, their home became a battleground of small accusations and stifled silences. Loren didn't lash out but retreated. Yara tried to reach out but often recoiled. The chestnut-colored sofa, the kitchen where Loren made his scrambled eggs, the small balcony overlooking the street, all places tinged with grief now, not love. He noticed how often Yara checked her phone, how sometimes her face fell when she saw a message, despite having sworn there'd be none. Her mood swings, sudden coldness, nights she couldn't sleep, mornings too early awake, and Loren wrestled with his anger, suspicion, but also deep love. He didn't want this to end, couldn't imagine life without her. One evening, Loren sat Yara down. "We need honesty," he said. "All of it. Let me know what's going on with Diego. The messages, the frequency, what you want." Yara's eyes stung. She swallowed. "Okay," she whispered. I'll tell you everything." What followed was confession. The messages started with Diego's family illnesses, his loneliness, his bad days. Yara, compassionate, guilt-laced, would listen. She would type a reply. Sometimes it was only a sentence or two. Sometimes she stayed up late. She admitted that what started as helping someone she once cared about had slipped boundaries she didn't mean to cross. Emotional dependence, she called it in hindsight. Loren listened, fists clenched, heart torn. He understood compassion, he admired it in Yara. But emotional infidelity, when someone outside the relationship becomes a secret, becomes a confidant in place of one's partner, hurt him more than he expected. He asked, "Did you ever intend to hurt me?" Tears leaked down Yara's cheeks. "No, I swear, no. I wanted to protect you from my past. From all of it. I didn't mean to hide you. I thought I could carry it." He looked at her, saw her shame, her longing. "Then carry it with me," he said. "Why do you have to carry it alone?" The next few days were uneasy. Yara tried. She deleted the app, removed his contact, blocked him where possible. She came to Loren and showed him, "See?" But Loren's trust had cracks now. Every phone lock made him anxious. Every pause made him wonder. Still, he wanted to believe. They went for walks, by the water, down the Miami boardwalk, watching the sun sink into the ocean. Loren would reach for Yara's hand. Sometimes she let him. Sometimes she let go first. "There's something I need from you," Loren said one evening. Waves wrapping white foamy edges around his feet. Salt wind in his hair. Dusk in the sky. Transparency. Yara nodded. "I'll try." He continued. "I need you to tell me when someone from your past contacts you. Not so I can control you, but so I don't feel like I'm being replaced." "I understand," she replied, eyes brimming, "because I love you." That night, they came home, and Loren found Yara asleep on the living room floor, phone on her chest. The lock screen lit up, a message preview from Diego. Her breathing was shallow, guilt heavy in her bones. Loren's heart twisted. He watched her there, small and brittle, then gently removed the phone, placed it aside. He carried her to bed, laid her down. She murmured something, startled awake.